got something to say.
Thank you for using Global Tel-Link.
You called just in time. You called just in time. Because we in the process of recording somebody else on video. And I got you on audio record right now.
Yeah.
Yep. And I want you to talk about your situation.
My situation, my situation is kind of crazy because, I felt like my situation could have been a little lenient than what they gave me for me being out of trouble 14 years. Really no adult record, but they gave me 7 for being who I am, I guess, and they wanted me off the street because everybody kept screaming my name, which I felt wasn't fair because they could have gave me some probation along with a little time, but instead they gave me number time, no probation. Instead of looking at that, I've been out of jail 14 years with no trouble, no nothing, not even going to a county jail. All they looked at is that they wanted to get the deal off the street, which I wasn't a bad person out there. I just made some bad choices. I had a lot of kids to feed, so I didn't do it for the fame. I did it to take care of them, you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
So it led me up in this. Child support led me in jail. Led me in court. So I tried getting a job to take care of my kids, which wasn't enough. So everybody kept taking me to court to try to get me to pay more money, which I was trying to do the right thing by working with. It worked. So the judge threatened me to pay more or me go to jail. So I did what I had to do to take care of them. Instead, got thrown to jail for doing what I was doing.
Right.
But live and learn. But I just felt like they could have been a little lenient on me with the time they gave me. And I explained to them why I was doing it, and they still didn't show no mercy.
Right.
I just feel like the prison system, they wishy-washy, and they got certain people who they show favoritism to. If your name is a name, major name or something like that, and then everybody keeps screaming and maybe you as a kingpin or a big dope dealer, they don't get rid of it, even though you stayed out of trouble for years.
And they ain't even really catch you with no drugs, did they? Did they catch you with drugs?
Did they catch me?
Yeah, with drugs.
Yeah, where I was, it was drugs. That was the hospital in my name or nothing like that. Everybody stayed there, so could have been anybody drugs. And they gun they found, they put it on me. They charged me with possession instead of constructive possession because the gun wasn't in mine and it wasn't in my presence. It wasn't on me. Possession is 9 of the law. If they catch it on you, that's possession. They keep it somewhere else. House ain't in your name. Bills ain't in your name. I just stayed there. A couple more people stayed there. Could be anybody. But still, they charge me with it. Add more charges and points to my case and get me on up out of there with more time.
Right. I was in a similar situation up here in Minnesota.
Right.
They came to the house for domestic disturbance, and the girl who was involved in the domestic disturbance told them I didn't hit her, I didn't do nothing to her, and I never had a gun. But her auntie was there, and her auntie said that she didn't see me hit her, but she saw me with a gun.
Right.
And I wasn't getting no mail at this house. I wasn't living there. And they ended up tricking the girl into signing a search warrant. They seen her nose bleeding, and she told them she don't need to go to the hospital. They said, we're going to take you to the hospital, ma'am. She said, no, I don't need to go to the hospital. They said, well, sign this medical consent form saying that you don't need no medical attention. She signed it without reading it. She was under the influence when she signed it. And it was really a consent to search her house, not a consent for a medical. And when she signed that, they started searching her house. And they found a gun in the house, and they charged me with a gun. She claimed the gun, said it was her gun, and said she never saw me with a gun before. But because her auntie said that she saw me with a gun that night, they charged me with that gun, with felony in possession of a firearm. And then they later changed my charge to constructive possession, which means if the gun is not locked away where I can't get to it, then I'm able to possess it. If I'm able to possess it without it being locked away, then it becomes constructive possession. And they charged me with that. I went to trial and I lost. And I got 60 months for it. Same thing.
That's what I'm saying. So they charged me with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, which is more time than a constructive. They don't carry the same time. But you know, I feel like they got something out for me from back in the day. You remember when I had a CD out and I was getting recorded by Chris Towner, and he had something that at the end he was talking, saying, fuck me around the police department, the sheriff department, and all them people in the county jail. And one day the police stopped me. He heard my music just a little bit. He pulled me. And he said, the officer name back then was Stephen Stewart. He was a sheriff, but he was a police officer back then. Now he's a sheriff now. He told me, he said, I don't care wherever I see you at. If I hear your music a little bit, I'm going to pull you. It don't matter what. So I thought about it. I said, why is he threatening me like this right here? So when I went to the police department, they chief back then, or they sergeant, I said, why is your police officer threatening me? He said, come here, I'm going to tell you why. He said, that CD you had, he said, the sheriff is pissed off. He said, but me, I like it. I like the beat. So he said, I done been called every night and night with Jesus, so it didn't bother me, you know what I'm saying? He said, but you need to go talk to the sheriff. He's pissed off, which was Johnny Mack, man. So I went to talk to Johnny Mack, and he told me, he pulled me that one-on-one. He said, I'm not going to have nobody talk about my ass and all this right here. I said, sir, that wasn't me. I said, I'm just trying to rap and change my life or whatever. He said, between me and you, I'm going to tell you like this, I don't like rap, so you can take that shit to yourself and matter. I tried to shake his hand. I was like, oh, yes, sir. And trying to shake his hand. He dropped his hand and he opened the door and said, you could be dismissed. So I think that's what all this brings about back in the days. That's the thing still up on that.
Right. They dirty down there in Florida, boy. They dirty.
Yeah. So I think it's all got something to do with everything. That's why I really need to get my face about Jackson County as it is. Because I don't get no mercy. So,
How you doing otherwise down there?
huh?
I said, how are you doing otherwise down there?
How was I doing?
How are you doing otherwise down there? Like, how is the living conditions in the prisons? How is the prison dealing with COVID down there?
Well, the prisons, you know, they done got a little strict. Now, it's really what you making and how you carry yourself. And, you know, if you don't get in no trouble and all that right there, you ain't got to worry about officers messing with you, your name being dragged through the mud because you're doing what you're doing. But, you know, it's just, me being locked up back in the day when I was getting locked up as a teenager in my early 20s or whatever, it's a whole lot harder, you know what I'm saying? Because now you can't get a CC verbal warning. These days you get 2 verbal warnings, you get a satisfactory. You get 3 verbal warnings, that's an unsatisfactory. A CC, I think it's a satisfactory, either unsatisfactory. it's now that you can get rid up on your card now, and you don't get no game time. It's what I see here. You know what I'm saying? So they really done got a little lenient with game time and all that. I don't know what the reason. I don't know anything that come out of the reason why. I see that a lot here.
Right.
But I try to stay out of this way and do what I'm supposed to do. Like, I'm trying to earn all the game time that they took back from me that I was getting from when I first came to prison, got sentenced in 17. I was getting game time from 17 to 19. I went to Washington, they gave me game time. I went to Spain, they gave me game time. I went to Quint, they gave me game time. I asked my clarification whether I'm able to receive game time. They was like, yeah. I went to Walton. That's when a specialist looked and seen that I had that gun charge or whatever, and they found out whether I could redo my time or whatever. And I thought I earned all the days of game time. I was almost at my max out, not max out, I was at my 85% thing. And they took all that game time back and made me start way back from my max, which is I'm still working on how to get back like it was.
So how much time they took from you?
It took like 300 and some days.
So you got to spend an extra 300 and some days.
It was like 3 years work down there. And they said I ain't supposed to be getting game time because of that gun charge. But when I went to court, DR court, I called him DR while I was in the box of investigation one time. And that man, when I went to DR court, he said, why you ain't getting no game time? I said, they sent me a letter saying I wasn't supposed to be getting none cause of the gun thing. And I was like, wow, what's up? They looked at each other and shook their head like, because what they did, they took my first offense, which was trafficking, and changed it to the gun charge, made my gun charge the first offense, and made the trafficking second offense. Which I didn't get sentenced like that. I got sentenced from trafficking being the first, the gun being the second offense, and then I had 2 misdemeanors, was the third and my fourth. But I got time served for them. Only thing they left on me was the gun and the firearm. But they changed my offenses around from when I got sentenced. That's why my game time changed and all that. Cause I don't know how they did it. But I got my original paper saying the trafficking my first offense and the gun was my second offense. But now they sent me an amendment sheet saying my sentence has been amended. My game time has changed back from 23 to 4, 12, 24, which was my max. And I had to start all the way over April the 2020. I don't know. I just felt like it wasn't fair if they made that mistake. They should have that was over them.
Right.
So they made me start all over with my game time, and I got to get every day still to catch up where I was.
So it put you back almost a year.
Yeah, it put me down there back at but I'm back in 23 now, but they ain't put me way back to my max. Made me start all over again. They took them 300 some days and made me start from
Right. That's crazy how they do that. They make the mistake and make you pay for it. But if you make a mistake, they still make you pay for it. So it's a double whammy.
Basically, that's what it is. They trying to keep me in here longer. How they seen that I was getting games. And they like, oh, no, we ain't going for this. Let him do hard time because of who he is. Because they would have caught that at Walden if I wasn't getting game time.
Right.
They said I can get it. I asked my clarification off. I said, do I supposed to be getting game time? She was like, yes. Your charges with trafficking, but they changed them around. I don't see how they can do that when the judge sentenced me trafficking and firearm. Trafficking was the first offense, and they carried more than the gun charge. Because they gave me 7 years.
So have you been able to get into the law library and try to rectify that?
I tried to do that. Right now, I'm still trying to. Now, I'm trying to work on a case or whatever to try to, tell them I'm work on about this gun that I told the police wasn't mine, and he got on film me saying it was mine. And how I noticed the gun was there, that day they had me handcuffed. They told me to sit down in that chair right there, and while they were searching the house, and one officer was standing in front of me. So I looked to my left and I seen the gun there, and I noticed what kind it was. So when the officer got me back out there, he said, "Is anything else you want to tell me?" I said, "Yeah, what officer y'all told me to sit down, it was a firearm in the gun. I'm in the chair." He was like, I said, "But it ain't mine." He was like, "Well, it don't matter. You don't supposed to be around them. You don't supposed to be in the house."
Did he search you before he sat you down in that chair?
No, he ain't searched me. They searched me. Yeah, they searched me. They searched me when they first came in. They took the money out of my pocket. Then they made me sit down.
Right. So he knew it wasn't a gun on you. He knew it wasn't a gun on you before you sat down in that chair.
Right. So they took my money out of my pocket. I had like $4 grand in my pocket, and they took it out and started on one of my table stands. And then that's when they told me, "Okay, sit him down over there." And one officer was standing in front of me. I had a hand behind my back. I looked to the left. Barrel sticking up out of the chair. And I was able to see what kind it was. And I told him, I said, "Yeah, it was a gun in that chair that y'all told me to sit down in." I said, "It ain't mine." But he was like, "Yeah, but you don't supposed to be around." Because I said, "But y'all, it wasn't mine." And well, it's going to be kind of hard to be because it's in the house and all that. The house ain't in my name. Bills ain't in my name. I let everybody stay there. People stay there.
That's that crazy
I just felt like I was treated unfairly from what I've been seeing. Then a year ago, 2 years, while I was in, same dudes that got out for robbery and all that right there, they came right back in less than a year. Found 2 guns in the car with him, and he got charged construction possession. And they in the car with him, up under the seat.
And I bet they still getting out before you. And I bet they still getting out before you.
No, he get out there in the same year though.
See what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. And I was like, "How you got construction and they gave me possession?" He was like, "I don't know." He was like, "The car I was driving." He said they was up under the seat. I said, "Yeah, but you sitting under the seat and one was stolen." I said, "Man, that's crazy." Like I said, it's that favoritism. They know who they want and who they gonna pick on. So that court system in Maryland is really like it's based on your race. So a lot of prejudice still going on in there.
You're right.
Cause when you bond out with that certain amount of money, I bonded out with $13,500. They supposed to make me go get me my own lawyer. Instead, they appointed me a public defender, which is Elizabeth Simpson. They already they already know what she do.
Right.
They call her Suitcase Simpson. You buy
Right.
pack your bag.
I had her.
She gonna send you to prison. So
I had her.
got rid of her because she was when I was coming out, it's like she was picking. Are you able to eat? I was like, "Why you say that?" She was like, "Cause a person facing them much time, you normally be sick on the stomach." I was like, "Oh hell no, I gotta get rid of her."
Right.
Yeah. So
I had her.
I fired her, and I went with the little buddy system, and they was like against me too. I felt like my lawyer could have put in more work, but he was with him on certain things. When I told him about the gun, he was like, "Yeah, but you don't supposed to be in the house with no gun and all that." Right? And I'm like, "But I ain't know the gun was there." And he's like, "Yeah, but you don't supposed to be in there, be around there."
You know they got a rule in Florida that if you pay bail, no matter what the bail is, to get out of jail, that you have to get your own attorney.
That's what I'm telling you. So that's how I know they was trying to railroad me and hang me. Like they gave me a public defender. And Elizabeth said to somebody, just give me a chance and all this type of stuff. You don't even know if I can help you or not. Somebody, you want to get rid of me already? I was like, yeah, because I already know about you.
Yeah. When I was there fighting my case, they had me in the trustee bay because I had a DUI that I was on probation for. So I was in the trustee bay while I was fighting my case. While I was in the trustee bay, they had me working in the kitchen. But they got this thing once a month called the judges meeting. And at the judges meeting, all the judges, it's only 2, come to the county jail to eat, to sit down and eat. Along with the judges, the prosecutors come, the public defenders come, the chief of police comes, the lawyers that work in that town comes, the fire marshal comes. Everybody who's somebody with the law enforcement or anything to do with law enforcement, they come to this judges meeting. And what I seen was they all come with their case files from both sides of the law, the defense and the prosecution. And they sit down in there and they talk about people that are in that county jail right there. It's such a small town. It's like it's less than 7,000 people in Mariana, Florida. And the county jail holds about 150 people, 200 people. And they talk about every case, everybody that's sitting in that county jail right there amongst each other with the judge, the lawyer, the prosecutor, the public defenders. And they say, well, what are we going to do with this guy? What are we going to do with Mr. Brown? He's been here for 6 months. What are we going to do with him? Why is he still sitting here? And then they start making deals amongst each other, which is not right. It's not right. It's a hoodwink and bamboozle system they got going on there. It's a good old boy network there, so to speak.
Right.
And they do this every month. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just a lot of like crooked things going on there, man. Like it ain't really right. It ain't really no equal justice. I done seen like people get away with killing, shooting one another, and they get probation. I sell a little drugs, I get 7 years.
Now I ain't saying poor me. I ain't saying poor me, cause I did something wrong. I was in a high speed chase. But what I'm saying is the way they went about prosecuting me was wrong.
Right. All that. Cause they with that buddy thing.
Yeah.
They already done had a cup of coffee and breakfast over it before they even come finish you or whatever.
I would have took my lumps. Without going to trial if I didn't know about the lies and stuff that they was telling.
Right. Yeah, mostly nowadays, the prosecutor listens to the officers that arrest you. If their officer tell you, don't give him this time, don't be lenient on him, give him this, make sure he do time, make sure he don't get no probation, they gonna listen to them. Because that was basically what was going on with me. They wanted me to snitch in order for me to get a lower sentence, and I wasn't going for that. So they hit me with what they could. They tried to up it to 12 years because I wasn't snitch. Until my lawyer called back and told him that was wrong and what y'all trying to do to him, and y'all mad because he won't snitch and this and that. So then she called him back and said, okay, he can get these 7 years, but he got to do it by tomorrow. So I had no choice but to say, okay, I'll take them 7 because I felt like I was pressured into it. If not, I was going to get a a great amount of time. If I would have taken the trial, they were gonna give me 30 years. So I had my back against the wall, really. All because the prosecutor and the police them got mad because I wasn't there.
Right.
So that's how that system is today. They want everybody to snitch. But that officer, that white officer that would plant drugs on people, he ain't getting that much time. He getting 12 years for planting all that drugs on people.
What they did to Johnny Mack?
And he gets sweet time, gets something to Hawaii.
Right.
To do time, where he probably won't even do 5 years for him.
What they did to Johnny Mack for all the dirt he did?
Yeah, they gave him like a slap on the wrist because his wife saying he's a church going man. He's never meant to hurt anybody. He hurt somebody. He's taking people away from their family.
Exactly.
His crime, it's like he's a drug dealer because you carrying these drugs with you, replant them on people so you can take them away from their family. That's worse than selling drugs and anything.
Right.
I don't know, you live and you learn.
Hey, I promise you.
And you also learn how the system is and go.
I promise you tonight, man. I'm going to. Soon as we doing an interview in the living room right now with this domestic abuse case right now. But I promise you, when I go home tonight, I'm gonna leave here in a minute and go home. When I go home tonight, I'm gonna put these pictures together. I'm gonna get some stamps on the JPay thing, and I'm gonna send you all the pictures. I'm gonna send some to you and some to Tiny Tim.
That's a bet.
I'm gonna do that tonight. I got some time. I ain't got to be at work until 11 o'clock tomorrow, so I'm gonna make sure I take care of that tonight.
Yeah, man. You gotta have a head and head of man to do time. Cause what I see in this prison here, man, I see a lot of people walking around talking to themselves. This shit done drove them crazy. Some people ain't built for this type of do time. But you gotta be strong mentally and physically in the mind to do time. Some people ain't got that much time as me. I should be walking around this joker talking to myself. But I know I had consequences to pay from the crime I was doing. So when I said, if I'm a ball till I fall to take care of my kids and make sure they straight, because I'm not gonna be like how my daddy did me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
At least I can be a father to them and spoil them in a way, even if it was a legal.
Right.
I was there. My daddy wasn't there. I ain't know my daddy really till I was 19 years old. So, that's about it.
Keep your head up. Keep your head up.
Straightening it out now. When I get out, I'm going to head in the right direction. I'm going to do like you did.
Man, listen. I'm living a dream right now. I can't believe, like, Minnesota has, like, a messed up system, almost like Florida. But
You have 1 minute remaining.
what helped me the most is I wasn't a bad person before I came to prison, before I went to prison. And I still had some people in my corner when I came home. That's what helped me the most.
Yeah, but I'm not a bad person either. All the bad person out there robbing.
No. I ain't saying you was a bad person or nothing like that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying along with.
I'm putting it out there. I was just somebody trying to survive. I'm just putting it out there like that's how the police and society, some other society look at me as a bad guy, but I'm really not.
Right, and I know you ain't.
But this phone finna hang up, bro. Love.
I love you too, man. Make sure you call me tomorrow.
Yeah,
All right?
Yeah.
Keep your head up.
Thank you for using Global Telling.
Are you ready?
Put your password in to stop the recording.
All right. I'm ready to start shooting.
All right. I thought y'all was out here